make this world a better place for you and me. I love my neighbor, I treat him good. I show respect and dignity like I should. I love my family, I follow all the rules. I take responsibility for what I need to do. There's so much going on around me. Sometimes I think that it is all about me. Then I look around and see what's in front of me. It's you and me, we help others in need.
You're on with Wilmington's very own Tony Fernandez with A Needy Wilmington.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the live broadcast. We are live on Facebook and Instagram. It's already too early in the morning for this. Oh, my gosh. Actually, in the afternoon. Let me get something to drink. Oh, my gosh. Okay. Rewind. Let's start this again. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in our live broadcast. We are live on Facebook and Instagram. My name is Tony. I'm one of the co-founders of A Needy Wilmington, a nonprofit public, which means whatever items we receive, donations obtained, go right back in the community. We're talking about and doing some Q&As. We're getting on here live. So if there's something that maybe you had a question that you wanted to ask, but you're too shy or bashful, just haven't got around to it, or that you wanted to ask, but you didn't know how to go about it, maybe listening into one of these broadcasts will go ahead and answer that question for you. Again, as always, if you're bashful or shy or just want to be anonymous and you just don't want to get on here, you can always contact us on any of our social media platforms. Each one of them have a way to either connect me directly through a direct message, or you can go to our email, aneedywilmington@gmail.com. It's that simple. WhatsApp, if you want to send me a real chat. We're also on Discord now. I already updated a couple of things on there. So if you're not familiar with Discord, go check them out. Pretty much it's putting topics in regards to the Operation Pilot Wheel and Adopt a Pilot. Before we go any further, let me thank the ones who are coming in. So far, I don't see on Facebook, so that means they're not even friends or part of A Needy Wilmington. Do me a favor and go ahead and make sure you hit the follow button, so that way you can get updated what's going on. And also, we're on Instagram, so we already have, I'm trying to say how to pronounce it, IRXIST. Thank you for being part of the live broadcast. Catharis Journals, thank you for being part of our live broadcast. Thank you for the shout out. Morning, happy early Christmas to you too. IRXIST, thank you for doing that. I really appreciate it. Things like that mean a lot to me because you're acknowledging who I am, what I do, and what we're trying to accomplish. And so please do me a favor and just share this out. Okay, so I want to get on here real quick. Things are being updated at least twice a day. That's my goal. I already updated the page. Last year's stuff is still there. So if you wanted to see what we did last year, you can see it. This year now is this year. Some of the numbers have not been updated yet because I'm still doing that as we speak. The links are all updated. So if you were to click on the link for the families, you're going to see that I'm working on the list. So that being said, I wanted to get on here real quick and explain that. We work with Benning High School students and we work with the families. We also work with teachers, social workers, resource navigators. If I haven't mentioned teachers, educators, to work with us and the kids. So what that means is being vetted. These are valid individuals, families that have a need, and they already tell us what's going on. It could be different scenarios. It can be multifamily, which means that there's already a family in one household. They have some financial difficulties. There's something going on in their life that they cannot get a place on their own. So two families literally live under one roof. That's not the case sometimes. Sometimes they don't have access to the whole house. They only have access to one of the rooms, even though they may share the kitchen, share the bathroom, but they only have one room. Again, that's also not the scenario. Sometimes they don't even have access to that. They'll give them a space in the back, and they have to be on their own. Everybody's situations, concerns are different. Hi, Graciela57 on Instagram. Thanks for being part of our live broadcast. If you haven't done so, please share this out with everybody. If you're not following us, please follow A Needy Wilmington right now. As I mentioned, sometimes the families do help out, but in a weird way that they give them a spot in the back, in the back room or whatever, so they don't have access to the front. Again, it's very, very weird scenarios and different situations. Some live in cars. Some live in a tractor, like of a 18-wheeler. Some live in RVs. Some live in campers. Everybody is different. So the need is valid, and yet these students still come to school. The kids do what they're supposed to. They have all these rules and guidelines on top of COVID, making sure that they do what they're supposed to do with the daily pass. Hi, Paul Azar. Thank you for being part of our live broadcast. Thank you so much for being part of that. Please, if you have not following us, please follow us. And then also please share this out with everybody. As I mentioned, these kids do what they're supposed to do. When we talk to students and things like that, our first paramount concern is their well-being, their mental health. Once that's already done, then of course we go through the process of finding out what's going on. A lot of these students are really good students. They're just in a really bad situation and they just need a little bit of help. They have there's, again, we can go all day talking about this. We can talk about different scenarios. We can do scenario A, scenario B, scenario D, all the way up to probably H or J. But I'm just going to name a few. You might have somebody who's barely making enough to pay the rent and utilities, and if they're lucky, maybe a little bit extra, like maybe a dessert once a month or whatever. They barely have the clothes on their back, or they may even go to, like, say, Salvation Army. They're gifted it. The clothes they got, they're gifted it. Some other organization gifted their clothes, and that's it. They have no other means to have anything else. They're real tight on budget, so they can't do anything else. Doing programs like what we do helps them get a little bit above that, with the extra food, with extra clothes, with extra hygiene products, cleaning supplies, that helps them get them a little bit better than where they're at. Hi, Dan Estrada. Thanks for being part of our Facebook live broadcast. We're talking about Q&A for the Adopt a Pilot and an Operation Pilot Wheel program. We're just getting on here. If you have any questions, please ask. We are live on Facebook and Instagram. If you're not following Needy Wilmington, please do so. Again, there are different scenarios that go on to help these students and their families excel. So when we started this program in 2016, there was nothing like it. Everybody else who does what we do, sure, there's a couple that might do, they have a family, they ask for a couple of things, they're on a tree, and then they pick it, whether it's an individual, family, organization, or what have you, and they get adopted. A lot of the families we help out throughout the year. Same families, same ones that we vet. From back to school, needing, new, school supplies, backpacks, whatever, to maybe new shoes on their feet. And then, of course, they get through. They need a little bit of food through their Hope Closet that we do at the school. Snacks. They miss breakfast. They don't have access to breakfast. They don't have a way to get to school on time. They miss out. They get a little bit hungry. Their extracurricular activity. They might be in cheer. They might be in football. They might be in sports, and they just don't have enough to get them through. We help them that way. Then, of course, we talk about other things that are going on, like right now, Thanksgiving and Christmas, when we provide them and their families a meal, plus the 1 week that they're off. This is prior to when they were doing grab and go and giving the extra food. We were doing this already on our own in our community here in Wilmington. So we were doing this since 2016. So this is before COVID. So a lot of these families get this help, and it gets them a little bit ahead, so that way they can prepare themselves, save a little bit of money, and I mean very little bit of money, so that way they can get ahead and hopefully, of course, live a little bit better. Now, let's talk about what is Operation Pilot Wheel and Adopt a Pilot, because we have so many people asking that question, and they say it's like the same thing. No, it's not the same thing. So let me go ahead and start with the Adopt a Pilot. So the Adopt a Pilot pretty much is a event program, however you want to call it. We vet it through the school, through, again, resource navigators, teachers, administrators, and we provide Wilmington families, along with the Wilmington Community Schools, of siblings or even outside the district with gifts, clothing, and necessities during the holiday season. For some reason or another, it always hurts more during the holiday season, and even hurts more because of COVID. So that being said, we have these families. We keep them anonymous. We provide them a letter, family A to family B, family C, depending how large we are at. Right now, when we started in 2016, we started at 16 families, 81 members in the families, to now that we're looking at so far on track, 9 families and 49 members. That's already 2 families less than last year, and that's already 2 members family more than last year. So that means the need is growing, and we still have more. I just received another call for 2 more families that we're going to be posting. Now, when can we adopt and when do we start? It takes a minute to put all these things up because it's a very awkward situation. With Thanksgiving that we had just got done, and we had to do the same thing. For us, we're a small organization, we're a niche organization, and we've been successful thanks to the community. We could not do anything that we do unless it's from you good folks. You good folks who donate your hard-earned monies to our causes. You are the ones that make it happen. Because if it wasn't for you, even though we have, yes, some larger donations that come in from, local governments, through their programs and things like that, it takes a minute to get that money. And of course, when we have the need is now, not tomorrow, actually yesterday. And so when you guys are able to do that, we're able to do what we need to do, get it to them right away, whether in lieu of gift cards or buying the items for them and having it delivered or having it picked up because of COVID. So once we have those conversations, they can be a little bit difficult. They can be awkward. They can be sad. We hear them crying. They feel embarrassed. They feel shame. And then so we have to, a lot of mental health gets kicked in. And we have to make sure that we take those steps very, very carefully, not to hurt anybody, make them feel bad. And luckily they all are open heart about the whole thing. They know they need it. They know they need the help. And we do our best to make sure we help them out and also keep their dignity. Hi on the waterfront. Thank you for being part of our live broadcast, Joanna. Thank you so much for following. And also, if you're not following, please do follow us, guys, on A Needy Wilmington on all social media platforms and share this out. So that's the Adopt a Pilot. Now, what is the Operation Pilot Wheel? Well, when you're Adopt a Pilot and you want to be a captain, which we call a captain in reference to everything goes on in school with the mascot and everything, they send us a list, and everything that's on that list is very, very, we take for granted. Shirts, cologne, toothbrush, toothpaste, eyeliner, eyebrows, things for the ladies, hairbrushes, cologne for everybody, feminine products, hygiene products, all that stuff. What we would need to benefit ourselves every day to do what we need to do, they need it like, it's almost like a brand new watch to them. It's almost like a piece of silver jewelry to them. It's something like they just couldn't get on their own or afford it their own, even though they can still, get it at 99-cent store or now $1.25, Dollar Tree. But that's how serious and how tight their budgets are. It's that tight. So in order to do that, you get a family. We work with you. You either could be a family of like one with 2 siblings. It could be mom and dad with 2 siblings. It could be mom and dad with 1 sibling. We try our best because we know everybody's budget is different. But in the reality it is, we are way under the federal poverty level. If you guys don't know, I'm a community health worker as well. Right now, I'm on track to graduate in February. So all the information that I'm providing you is right there where you can even look for it online. A lot of these individuals have not seen a doctor. A lot of these individuals have not had a decent meal. They either eat out of a can or they eat whatever they had for dinner is their breakfast. Whatever they had for breakfast is their lunch. And so these items are hard to purchase to adopt somebody. But what this does is that you can donate as little as 25 cents because it makes sense. Everybody that I've talked to, I go through this scenario. It's really, really funny. But we tried it before where we would say, donate 5, donate 10, donate 15. And of course, the reality is for many of us, for many community members, as much as they would love to donate, they don't have it. Seriously, because let's face it, some people have high rent, some people have high utilities, and of course they have their own families and things to take care of. But they want to help. They want to do this, they want to do that. So that's why it's easier for us to say, if I was to sit there and ask you for a quarter, you would quickly go out of your pocket and give me the quarter because that's at least what you have, or even change to add up 25 cents. So that's why we say it makes sense to give 25 cents because at least you won't say a quick, you won't give me a quick no. It would be easier, or it would be sad if I say, give me $5, $10, and you're like, let me think about it. I don't know if I need this for gas. I don't know if I need this for the vending machine at work. I don't know if I need this for my Monster, for my break. I get it. We get it. So it's easier to sit there and say 25 cents makes sense, and then you can just give whatever you want, okay? And you don't have to do it alone. You can do it with friends. You can do it with loved ones. You can do it with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, significant other, your partner. You can do it with people at work. You can do whatever you want to do and make that donation. You could either name it by yourself. You want to give your name. You want the accolades. Or if you want to be anonymous, and that's okay too. You can be anonymous. Or if you want to put it in memory of somebody. We had several people do that last year. People passed away and they wanted to have it in the memory of somebody, and we more than happy did that. So it's different ways you can help. There's different ways you can, give accolades to what you do. If you're one of those ones that just do it from the kindness, and that's okay too. We call it the secret donors. We call them the love, secret donation. We call it a love donation. Whatever you feel comfortable doing, that's what you can do. So this way of doing this gives you the option of under Pilot Wheel. You donate. We have an adopted family that needs a little extra. You are helping us do that by fulfilling that goal, whether it's adding a little bit extra money on a gift card for food for the week, or we go ahead and get them something they need, whether it be headphones because they do their schoolwork, external learning or extended learning from somewhere else, and they have to have headphones on their computers, to maybe they need a pair of socks because they're in sports, or they need special protective gear because they're in some kind of sport in school or what have you. The need always is different, okay? And we do our very best to let you guys know where all that goes to, okay? There's ways to donate. You guys can donate through Venmo, PayPal. All the information on the website, like I mentioned, we go ahead and update that at least twice a day. So that way you guys get the most current information. You'll see it that the last update shows the date. As of today, I'll put the date plus the time. So that way you guys know, okay, this was like either the morning or in the afternoon. Please bear with me that a lot of things that we do in order to do this is time consuming. It takes a minute to do what we do. And this is why the results are very, very, extraordinary. They're large. And what I mean by that is, we are recognized through the school, through their WASC program. If you guys are not familiar with the WASC program, that's a credential that they use in their school for the way they either teach, the way they do things, curriculums they use, books they use, all these algorithms and fundamentals and formulas they use that does what they do in order to create a learning environment for their school, and how it's going to come out and benefit the community in the future. They used our programs, they used our nonprofit in order to do that for the wellness part, the mental part, the fulfilling part, and they recognized 3 of the programs that we were, biggest, best known for, which of course the nonprofit in itself, the back to school backpack, the back to school program, getting clothes, uniforms, schools, shoes, things like that. The whole closet for all the items and foods that we provide, essentials, basic and essentials, backpacks, notebooks, calculators, pencils, you name it, we provided it. Again, the snacks, the breakfast bars, all the quick stuff, the feminine products, the hygiene products, all that good stuff. That's all through the whole closet, and of course, Prom Pilot. So it's really, really humble, and that we were recognized in being part of that connection, contribution. And that's why it's so important what we do, because we have mentioned this several times. And of course, now being a CHW, it's more of an emphasis. If you don't have something to eat, you can't think, you can't function. Hijack Human, thanks for being part of our live broadcast on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook or Instagram or any other social media platforms, please share. And if you're not following any Wilmington, please follow us today. As I was mentioning, we're talking about the Q&A for our Adopt the Pilot and Operation Pilot Wheel program. Hi, Joanna Rendon. Thanks for being part of our live broadcast. We're on Facebook and Instagram. If you're not following us already on social media, please do so. And we're talking about the Q&A and answering and giving questions about our Adopt a Pilot and Operation Pilot Wheel program. As I mentioned, we were talking about WASC and how we were involved in that. And thanks to everybody involved, they put us in their I guess it's some kind of submission they have to use, and how, they do their grunt work as far as like all the schools, the books, programs, testing, and all that thing they use. Then, of course, the sports, the athletics, all the extracurricular activities to get the wellness part. And then they included what we do to help them out on the wellness and the mental part. So that was kind of really cool. That's what we were talking about. But as I was mentioning is how important it is to do what we do as far as that, because if you try to sit there, us as an adult, mind you guys are kids, because we overlook sometimes because we're so busy in our lives, that the kids have enough hard time just being kids, especially nowadays. You get out of bed, and if they don't have a decent meal and they haven't eaten anything in 8 hours, by the time they get to school, especially if they're one of those kids who don't have a ride and they have to walk, they're already burning energy. They're already burning metabolism. They're already burning what they already ate last night. So when they get to work, don't get to work. I'm not even putting them ahead already. When they get to school, and that's work in itself, to do what they need to do, and that's not including if they're part of an extracurricular activity or sports, they're already burning energy. They're already falling asleep and whatever, and where their next meal is coming from after breakfast or lunch. If they miss breakfast, it's lunch. That's 4 already hours in. That's not cool. So that's a problem. They come to school and they barely have enough clothes in their closet. They only have clothes that would maybe last them for 3 days, not including undergarments, not including gym clothes, not including shoes, not including this. And that's what I'm saying. It's like whatever you have just to barely get by. Let's think about every Saturday and Sunday in a month. You are the one that has to walk to school, and you only have 1 or 2 pairs of shoes, and you're in an extracurricular activity. You're wearing those shoes faster than somebody else is. So again falls into the mental wellness, it falls into the well-being, it falls into self-esteem, and they go without. We can keep going on and on and on talking about this. Hi, Wilmington Tea Center on our Instagram page. Thanks for being part of our live broadcast. If you're not following us, please do so today at Needy Wilmington and in our social media platforms, and share this out with everybody you know today. So we're talking about the mental part, the wellness part, about what we do, and how it affects if they go without, which, of course, as we speak, they're probably going out with right now. I'm in France, Paris. Oh, my gosh. France, Paris. Oh, my Jesus. Okay. Well, be safe, okay? Oh, my gosh. Okay, that's good. We're international. Hey! Okay, so thank you for taking time to do that, though. You're supposed to be, I guess, relaxing and enjoying life, and you took time of your day to check us in. So thank you so much for doing that. So it's important to how the little things that we take for granted can affect a kid's well-being, especially if they don't get enough. If they don't get at least, I look at it as 4 square meals. They say 3, and that's not enough. And plus the food they get, if they are part of that program, is not enough. They have to be constantly snacking anywhere between 1 or 2 times a day at least. And that's not including if they're in extracurricular activity. And that's not including whatever ailments they may have where they're either burning metabolism really quick to requiring, certain nutrients and supplements that they have to have, vitamins or whatever, and they don't have it. So these are the little things that we kind of look every day. This is why we get so caught up in ourselves that we don't think about others, and we need to do that. So I take the time to do it, and it's not an easy task. It's an unthankful job. It's hard. I don't get paid for this. None of our stuff that we do, social media that we provide, all the platforms we provide, they're all done as sweat equity, grunt work. I sit here from 1 to 2 hours a day, even more, putting things out, things that you see that you can click and do this and go see all these different, from videos, from information I post. It can take hours coding all that stuff. It can take a very, very long time providing the music, providing the outside stuff. It takes a very, very long time to do that. And so that way you guys are engaged in the information. And even though we're not as popular as others that you might see on Instagram from whatever you see, or TikTok, but this is a need that we're trying to provide, and we're trying to make it work so that way you guys can see what's going on right under our noses. And the community, the district local governments, the city local governments, the county local governments, the mayor, and all that good stuff needs to see what's going on in our own backyard and pay attention. Recognize what's going on. We don't have it. We have to go to another city sometimes to get the things we need, or we have organizations like us to do what we do in order to provide. And we're doing this in our own backyard. We don't have a brick and mortar. We're doing it in our own backyard, in our garage. Our garage in our backyard gets turned into almost a brick and mortar at least 2-3 times a year, and that's from anywhere from Bomba, that provides our socks, that we get almost 5,000 pairs of socks getting dropped off by a freight liner, by a truck, to items that get dropped off for our Thanksgiving or back to school events, from shoes to clothes to whatever, and we have to do an assembly line under 10 by 10 canopies to put everything together. It's work. It's work, and hopefully in the near future we can go ahead and get a brick and mortar. But again, doing things like that takes the money out of the mouths of the individuals we're trying to help, and that's the reason why we do what we do. And unless we have enough cushion to do that, then they go without. And it's simple to see what everybody else does, and I can sit here and make names, and I don't want to do that because that's not my intention. But I'm trying to say, when you have all these other places that provide a need, and they open up their doors to have people come in to pick up things that they need, that money that you are putting into in their hands pays all that first before the people that are really in need. And that's the whole emphasis of what we're doing and what we're trying to educate. It's nice, but when you have somebody that doesn't have, and you got to wait to them to get it, that doesn't work. They need it now. They need it yesterday. So, for instance, all the people that we're helping out during the holiday, and I'll close it with this, and of course, if you have any questions, let me know. More information is on our website, and on our website page for the Adopt a Pilot operation, bit.ly OPWAAP, which is the abbreviation, Operation Pilot Wheel, OPW, AAP, Adopt a Pilot. So, if you were to sit here and think from September or August to now, what we do for the community, for the kids, from the back to school program, backpacks, school supplies, Hope Closet, and all the stuff that we do, plus getting into things that they may need at the Hope Closet for snacks and things like that, or any other essentials. And then, of course, we go into the holiday with Thanksgiving and Christmas, providing a Thanksgiving meal plus the 1 week that they have on break, fall break. Then the winter break, we do the same thing, plus the Christmas gifts and anything else. Hi, Robert. Thanks for tuning in on our Facebook page. That's one of our core members, and also Chef Robert, who provides everything that we did for Thanksgiving and everything else that we do in the community, including our church, which is creating hope and unity and responding to the community's homelessness that we did during COVID. Kids could not do what they needed to do and get to where they were at if it wasn't for what we do, because that's a big chunk of academic school year that they are already counting on and looking for, that we do, and it helps the families out. At the end of the day, guys, keep this in mind. No problem. Thank you, sir. Be safe. If you look at it, if they know that they can go to school and they get this help, and then if during the holiday is this, that's something that they can count on, they can lean on. That's the reason why we push so hard to do what we do. And we have a lot of people that we were counting on during these events, especially during COVID, and they let us down. And it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. Everybody has things to do. Some have their own priorities. Some have other things that they rather do. Some people rather have fun than doing what we do. And it's hard. But at the end of the day, these are the people who are in need. These are human beings. They all have a heartbeat. They all have a pulse. And I was one of those kids. I was one of those kids that didn't have anything. I was one of those kids who were brought up by a single parent. I was one of those people that were brought up on the social service, welfare, however you want to call it, food stamp program. I was there when they had the USD white label, when we just had, everything in a can, everything pasteurized, processed, whatever, from beans to cheese, whatever. I had to walk to school, come back to school. Then I learned the bus, and I took the bus to help me, have to walk. I went from Linwood to Southgate to Linwood. And I did pretty well. But there was a lot of things I was without. There was a lot of things I had to not get or receive, like prom or school dances or things like that. I had it really, really hard. And I totally get it when I see these kids and ones that I talk to, and I talk to their parents in Spanish and they're breaking down and crying. I totally get it. I feel their pain. I feel what they're going through. And if we can just do something just to make it a little bit better, even if it's just what we do during the holidays, which I mean is from August to December, then January through May will take care of itself. That's the way we look at it. If we can get them through the fall, through the winter, and even part of winter of January, because there's something might need a little bit extra something. Hi, Gary Kern. How are you? I try to send you some messages, sir. I hope you're doing well. He retired. This is Gary Kern. He was a godsent working with the Wilmington Senior Center. He was also part of the Meals on Wheels program. And I miss the dude. And I hope that he would check this broadcast that I'm talking to him right now and check my messages, because there's certain things I want to ask him and talk to him about. Even though I know he's retired, but he's really close to the community. No matter what he is or where he's at, he's still always part of the community. He is part of the community, and he did a lot of things to do that. So, but enjoy your retirement, and when you do have time, check my message and get back to me. Rafa, another stranger, another mother, another brother from another mother this guy is almost as busy as I am, because I've sent him messages and I talk to him and things like that with his good-looking face and his Pittsburgh Steelers and his trouble towel, whatever. And if I'm lucky to get even an attention from him like I do right now, I wave to him and appreciate everything he does for the community. And so thank you, Rafa. But when you have time, brother, go check your messages. I've been sending you freaking phone calls and emails and text messages. I'm starting to think you don't like me anymore. But anyway, thank you, Rafa, for what you do. So that's pretty much what I close with at, guys. Again, thank you so much for everything you guys do, putting up with me, listening to what I had to say, really rambling on and on. I hope you guys would get some of it. If you guys are one of those ones that just like to scan through it, more power to you, because some of these broadcasts can be a little bit long. These videos can be a little bit long, but there's so much information. And just like a good lecture, a good book, sometimes you just have to take your time and sit back and just listen and watch the whole thing. Because that way you get everything what's going on, you feel everything what's going on, and then that way you know what's all about. And if you want to be part of what we do, especially if we start growing and perfecting this, because we're getting a little bit better and perfecting. We got 6 years into doing this Adopt a Pilot, Operation Pilot Wheel, 13 years of the Thanksgiving in the Harbor, formerly the annual Thanksgiving feast for the needy. That's been going on for 13 years. I was part of it for the 7. Chef Robert, and my girlfriend, who's been doing it way longer than I have. And then we kind of came in and did a little bit more by giving thanks to a pilot and their siblings and families during the holidays, especially when they don't have a way to get to the event. The prom pilot, everything that we're doing, everything that we talk about, the back to school program, the fire that happened in Wilmington in 2017 when 10 families were dislocated and didn't have anywhere to go. We helped everybody out when they were there, and we started our collaborations with other organizations within our community, other community service organizations like Straight from the Heart with Laura. We keep doing things and growing things, and the whole thing is that we keep pushing by letting everybody know what we're doing. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, like right now, I just got a call, or actually a text, that somebody else was in need, happens to be a budding student, and their family is pretty large, and they're going through a hard time right now, especially with COVID. And the person that referred us turn to us because we are niche. We are different. We are small because we still have that connection. We still have that touch as far as we know how it feels. We don't just put information in the family in a database or whatever and say this is number blah, 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 and we refer them as number blah, blah, blah. No, we refer them as, Familia Rodriguez, Familia Sanchez, whatever. But when we come here, we just protect their anonymity unless they want to be well known. Family S, Family R, whatever. And we tell you what their name is, their initials. We tell them what sizes they are. We tell you their story, their background. If they're a good student, of course, they're all good students. I mean, some may take a little bit longer than others. That's okay. They're just being kids. Give them a minute. But I give you a little bit of their story, and then you feel heartfelt to go ahead and do something about it, from whether you're giving gift cards or doing this and doing that. And it's a great thing. And this is why we try to replicate this. Because of everything we do, we replicate this throughout the year. And this is the reason why we keep growing and doing what we're doing. And who knows where it can take us. And it's been taking us up. It's been taking us up. It's a lot of work. And again, it's something that at this point in my life, I feel passionate and I have the tenacity to keep pushing it. I don't get sleep sometimes as much as I would like to. But it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast because the need is there. And I wish we could be like any other cities or any other stuff that we do. And the whole point is that we do what we do and somebody else does their own thing. Because let's face it, the need is growing and homeless keeps growing, and everybody who needs help, it's hard. So if we can replicate what we do, just like how other restaurants do what they need to do, they franchisee out and they duplicate what they do and make their own thing. Same thing as a nonprofit. Hopefully they'll do what we do. They'll take for what we have. They'll make it their own and do their own thing. And then we start collaborating, getting larger and larger. And of course, we turn this unthankful thing that we do to a big, very thankful thing that we do, because what we're doing is pretty much replicating what needs to be done as a good business model, as a good community model, as a barter model, and that we can make something happen and make a change and put a dent in what we're doing here to make everything a little bit better. All right. That's it. It's time to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, even though you may not, but I hope you get something out of it. Expect me to come back on here again later. We'll probably give you guys an update. Watch the things that we do. Make sure you guys are following the web page, and then we'll talk about it later. All right, take care. Bye. Bye-bye.